Oh, the beautiful scenery of downtown Miami. It's warm, warm weather out there, but it's a lot hotter inside La Jaula. It's Japan versus Mexico. Nippon versus Mexico, 2 consecutive years back to back. And earlier on today, staff brought in the biggest, I think, most beautiful trophy in all of sports. That is Copa Combate. Great stuff, and when the Copa Combate is around, you know it's a big deal. Roberto Romero, Alex Wendling, what an exciting moment it is. And look, minasan, Obama TV, oganan itadaki arigatou gozaimasu. We are on Obama TV, so thank you so very much. Arigatou gozaimasu for tuning in. And of course, on Fuse, Alex, I'm excited. I got chills. Japan versus Mexico. When you get these two countries battling out, you know we're going to get a lot of action.
Yeah, we have the come forward fighters versus the calculated. It's going to be a great one. And Regina Tarin, the star on the rise, taking the Argentinian Gisela Luna on.
Tarin returns to La Jaula for the second time. Perhaps she continues the undefeated streak. We're about to find out. She takes on the seasoned pro in Luna. Beatriz, introduce the ladies.
Y arrancamos con mucha más acción, las reglas de La Jaula. 3 vueltas de 5 minutos, 3 jueces, utilizando el sistema de 10 puntos. Este duelo en la división peso mosca desbao. In the flyweight division, los jueces son the judges are Jonathan Lane, Lorenzo Toledo, and James Lázaro. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. En la esquina azul, in the blue corner, wearing blue, vestida de azul, su peso oficial, 126.6 libras, her official weight, 126.6 pounds, con un récord profesional de 5 victorias y 2 derrotas, with a pro record of 5 victories and 2 losses. De Buenos Aires, Argentina, Gisela, la emperatriz Luna. Introducing the red corner, en la esquina roja, wearing white, vestida de blanco. Su peso oficial, 125.4 libras, her official weight, 125.4 pounds. Esta noche entra a la jaula invicta como profesional con 3 victorias tonight. She enters la jaula undefeated as a pro with 3 victories. De Mexico City, Mexico, Regina Tarin. El referee, Christopher Miñoki.
Vamos. Ok, escúchame todo el tiempo, cuídate todo el tiempo. Si quieres tocar guantes, toca ahora. Buena suerte a los dos.
There we have it, Tarin, 3-0. Luna, last time we saw her, she took on Lara, of course, an experienced veteran, took that fight to on a short notice, but this is an opportunity for her to bounce back, get another victory. She is a kickboxing champion, of course, a champion in MMA in her home country. And Tarin, man, just 19 years old, only the second youngest fighter to compete in Combate Global. Irlanda Galindo was the youngest at 18 years old. Tarin being the second at 19, just 1 year of difference there. This should be a very fun, exciting fight. Alex, you got the experience versus the youth.
Exactly, and we'll be able to see if Gisela Luna really utilizes that come forward style, because I think her last fight against Azul was really a wake-up call. If she's on the back foot, it's hard for her to get her game going. So we'll see if she wants to come forward against the 19-year-old phenom out of City of Mexico.
Yeah, when she went up against Azul, I guess she took that fight on short notice. Azul was scheduled to take on La Loba. Loba suffered an injury, was unable to compete. In came in Gisela Luna, took on the fight. Didn't go her way. However, now she's had some time to fix some of the holes here, fix some of the skills, and take on Tarin. But great approach after the takedown for Tarin. Very impressive right from the start, not being fazed by the experience.
Yes, that's exactly what she did with Fernanda Marufo again. She just did a body lock takedown straight on top, and then she was able to work to the back for a rear naked choke against Fernanda. We'll be able to see if she can get that done against the Argentinian. But again, starting off the fight with a minute in on top of your opponent, perfect opportunity to land some ground and pound and soften them up, maybe open up some submission attempts.
And this is for Luna here, a very exhausting position. Needs to get out, especially since she loves to fight on the feet. Has some experience, of course, several fights in kickboxing and also in boxing.
And now Regina Tarin moves into mount, which is basically when you're fully on top of your opponent, but Gisela's holding on to her arms, avoiding. Oh, and this is very similar to the fight with Azul, a ground and pound.
Very deep trouble for the Argentinian. I guess experience doesn't matter. Mignocchi might step in to stop the fight very early. Tarin, the young phenom, going all in.
She's gonna have to do more than just shell up here.
It may come to an end very quickly. Luna giving up her back. Maybe stop. Mignocchi stops it. Another victory for the young star. Regina Kill Bill Tarin make it 4 in a row.
She keeps her undefeated record, gets on top of La Jaula, a very proud moment for the Bone Breakers MMA star on the rise.
Man, this young lady is not fazed by experience, by how many fights, how many titles you've won. She comes in for the kill.
And she has a great personality. She's learning English as well. She even did an interview before this fight in English. And now just a beautiful display of ground and pound from the back. And Chris Mignocchi was quick to stop the fight after plenty of unanswered hits from the 19-year-old star.
Wow, unbelievable, great stuff, great action for the young superstar. We will be back with the final result after the break.
El tiempo oficial, 1 minuto y 55 segundos del round número 1, the official time. 1 minute and 55 seconds of round number 1. And the winner by technical knockout, la ganadora por knockout técnico and still undefeated, Regina Tarin.
Alex, I mean, that girl is money. She looks great in there, great smile, a lot of charisma.
Yeah, this flyweight division really packs that talent. She's got to feel very confident after this one. A quick finish, it almost looked too easy. And again, it was her bread and butter, that body lock takedown, and able to finish up with some ground and pound. That's got to be a great win, especially knowing that she had a great win against Fernanda Marufo and coming in here and getting a finish like that. Beautiful work from the Bone Breaker star.
Pure confidence, only 19 years old, represented her country in the IMMAF, won a medal for Mexico, and since then it has just been up to the sky, especially here in La Jaula. 2 wins in a row, just competed a few months ago that we saw her. And if you ask her, I mean, she'd probably be able to go fight in the next 2 weeks. She's probably ready to go, maybe even tomorrow. She didn't even break a sweat. As we go to the stats, great stuff from these two ladies. Regina Tarin, 49 of 58 for the punches, and the 1-4 for Gisela Luna. Didn't get any action whatsoever. As Tarin just straight down to the ground. 81% of the effectiveness for the young superstar, Kill Bill Tarin. When you look at those stats, it's just mind-boggling when you look at, you know, such a young girl, young woman, and you got the experienced Luna. Just wow, mind-boggling. And now you're looking at here coming up really, really soon, Shoma Yamada taking on Marcos Lloreda out of Miami. And then we got the main event, Takahiro Ashida taking on Roberto Romero. Is Mexico versus Japan coming up next. But let's meet Ashida.
やっぱり MMA をやる上ではすごく経験値っていうのは大事だと思うんで、そういうところではもう僕の方が勝ってると思うから、そうですね。あと一歩のその勝負論のところで僕が一枚上にいけるかなと思ってます。やっぱり精神的な強さ、日本人特有の這い上がる、やられても立ち上がるっていう精神的な強さを学べると思います。すごい、あなたはすごいタフな戦い方をしますけど、日本人の僕はもっと侍魂でタフな戦いをするので、僕が勝つことになるでしょう。楽しみです。
Entrando a la jaula, Takahiro Ashida.
Yokoso Takahiro Ashida to Combate Global, training out of the Brave Gym located in Saitama. Had the opportunity to go out there, Alex, and those dudes and dudettes definitely sweat and have a lot of guts. Very persistent with their striking, their wrestling, and we're gonna see that difference between the two countries of Mexico and Japan. You get the Samurais versus the Aztecs. But this is a man who has had over 40 fights, Alex, has taken on veterans such as Miguel Torres, and now making his debut inside La Jaula wearing the Japanese flag. He stated, just like many other fighters, listen, it's a long trip from the land of the rising sun to Miami, Florida. And I have a lot of people supporting me back home. This is not, I need to win, this is a must win.
Yes, he is happy to represent his country, Mexico versus Japan too. And for this particular fight camp, he was training over there at Kill Cliff. So he got a bunch of different work with new training partners, really being able to sharpen up the tools of everything going on in his game.
That's right, Yoko. So to all the fans in Nippon, we are airing live on Abema TV. And now, let's get to know his opponent, Roberto Romero.
Para mí siempre es un orgullo representar a México, más en un evento México contra Japón. Pues estoy muy emocionado de volver a levantar mi bandera y primero Dios vamos a salir con la mano en alto. Pues lo que me diferencia a mí a otros peleadores es el corazón. Yo la verdad siempre lo dejo todo en mis entrenamientos, en mis peleas. Desde que estoy cortando el peso yo estoy bien decidido a hacer las cosas bien, entonces pues más que nada eso, mi resiliencia ante las situaciones. Takahiro Ashida, solamente espero que ambos demos una buena pelea, que des lo mejor de ti, vamos a darnos el tiro.
His opponent, Roberto Romero.
There he is making another walk to La Jaula, El Charro Negro Romero, once again stepping in. And this, kudos to this man. Another person, he took this fight on days notice. Originally, Takahiro Ashida was supposed to take on Ramiro Jimenez, the champion or the winner of Copa Combate last year. However, due to issues, or travel issues, he was unable to compete. In stepped in Roberto Romero, who hasn't had any competition since that defeat back in late last year against Patrick Lahan. Now, mind you, prior to that, this guy was on a 6-fight win streak. He was unstoppable. In 2021, he won the fight of the year when he took on Zed Montenegro. What a phenomenal fight. If you get the opportunity to go back to our fight library, you need to watch that fight. So this man was just itching and ready to come in to compete in La Jaula.
Definitely, especially wanting to redeem that fight against Pat Lahane. And he's always been one to represent Mexico. Last time it was Mexico versus Ireland, and today, Mexico versus Japan.
Draped in the green, red, and white of his home country of Mexico. This is what we're talking about. Takahiro Ashida taking on Roberto Romero. Who's taking the bragging rights home? Will it be Mexico, Japan? We'll find out up next. And here we go, Mexico. Takahiro Ashida representing Japan, Roberto Romero representing Mexico on the right-hand side. This is Japan versus Mexico, part 2. If you're joining us on Fuse, welcome. Here's the head-to-head 34-year-old for the veteran of Ashida taking on the 24-year-old of Romero, who trains with well-known coach Colin Oyama. And we are ready to get this action going. Beatriz, introduce the men.
Continuamos con mucha más acción este duelo. En la división peso pluma, we continue with much more action this bout. In the featherweight division, los jueces son the judges are Jonathan Lane, Lorenzo Toledo, and James Lázaro. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. En la esquina azul, in the blue corner, wearing white, vestido de blanco. Su peso oficial, 145.2 libras. His official weight, 145.2 pounds. Con un récord profesional de 26 victorias, 14 derrotas y 2 empates. With a pro record of 26 victories, 14 losses, and 2 draws. From Saitama, Japan, Takahiro Ashida. En la esquina roja, in the red corner, wearing black, vestido de negro. Su peso oficial, 150.8 libras. His official weight, 150.8 pounds. Con un récord profesional de 7 victorias y 3 derrotas. With a pro record of 7 victories and 3 losses. From Irvine, California, via Chihuahua, Mexico, Roberto El Charro Negro Romero. El referee, Marcos Pérez.
Okay, guys, so you already know the rules. I want a clean fight, obey my command all the time, touch the glove if you want. Go to your corners.
Marcos Perez, the third man in La Jaula, giving the final word. Roberto Romero, representing Mexico. Takahiro Ashida, representing Japan. Who is going to win it this year? Will it be Japan? Will they make it 2 years in a row? Or will it be Mexico? We're about to find out.
And both these guys showing so much respect beforehand. There was no animosity or hostility in the lead-up because this fight was taken on short notice. But now that they're both in the cage, they're going to be looking to take each other's heads off.
It's a long flight. Takahiro wants to go home with that W. Celebrating Tokyo at the Shibuya crossings.
And in the interviews leading up to this, Takahiro mentioned that he was very aware of the wrestling pedigree of Roberto Romero, but was also aware of his striking ability and a lot of power being generated from that right kick right there.
Ashida sizing him up, just looking up that square. Great boxing, but Roberto answers the same. You got that Mexican boxing. Of course, Japanese too have some well-known boxers as well.
Finishes the single leg. Will he be able to continue the pass here?
But Japan, Alex, of course, one of the pioneers when it comes to MMA, especially for women, right? Because even before the women started competing here in the U.S., women were mostly competing over in Asia and Japan. You talk about the Megumi Fujis, you know, all the straw weights and the flyweights of the women. That's where they really started off and later on carried into the United States. So there's no doubt that Japan was more like the main stage for so many great fighters.
And Roberto able to move to side control here, really utilizing that shoulder pressure. As you can see, he's using that shoulder to keep Ashida's jaw pushed to the other direction, really smothering him. And it's not a fun place to be when you have 3 minutes and 17 seconds left in the first round.
Yeah, Ashida has had some difficulty on the ground game. However, doing enough here to do, and there was no doubt, there's no doubt that this was going to be the game plan for Roberto Romero. Taking the fight on short notice to take down his opponent, knowing that Takahiro does love to strike. Great way of bridging there, but giving up away his back, got the hooks in. Alex, could be a quick one.
We already saw a quick one with Regina Tarin and Gisela Luna, but now Roberto Romero working to the back,
Trying to get a
both
half.
hooks in.
He's trying to get a half Nelson there, but good way of Ashida protecting, putting his chin down. In deep waters here, doesn't have the body lock yet, Alex.
And it looks like he's got the grip going for him with that body triangle.
Baby in trouble, Alex.
This could be it.
Good way of protecting his chin,
And
putting it to the side.
Out.
Yeah.
But he's
Keeping
not
on the
completely
head.
safe yet. It's in these scrambles that mean the most.
Ashida protecting himself, looking to see if he could take this fight to the feet. Well, he prefers over 40 fights. He's been through it all, seen it all inside of competition of MMA.
And this featherweight division is so stacked. But when we look at Roberto Romero, he is one of the stockier 145ers we have. And I really feel like his body type is paying dividends here. That top pressure heavy on Ashida.
A lot of power from Roberto Romero.
A beautiful flow from Roberto right now. Just constant control.
It's just like he's just sizing him up, ready to get that opportunity to sink in something.
Now Takahiro really has to figure out a way to escape from this position. Being worn down for another minute and a half is definitely draining and not how you want to end the first round.
Great stuff there from Roberto Romero.
But again, it's easier said than done. A great scramble out, almost gets away, but again, the control of El Charro Negro. Straight to the back, looking to get another hook in.
Takahiro on the ground, having some much difficulty here. Needs to get himself right on the feet. Roberto laying in some shots here. Seems like Takahiro will survive the first round.
We'll see, we got 45 seconds left. Not so slippery yet, no blood, no sweat to really make a rear naked choke impossible. But we'll see if Roberto Romero can find his way out. He's a little bit high on the back right now, so he might just look to end this round with some ground and pound and really dominate from the back.
Great stuff so far from Roberto Romero. It seems that the Mexicans might be the first to take a victory tonight.
Great roll to the back and under the chin.
Let me have it now, Alex. That's the
in
tap.
the top in the first round from
With
Roberto
12.
Romero.
With 12 seconds left, Roberto Romero picking up the fight on day's notice, picks up the W. Ashida not looking happy.
As close of a buzzer beater submission as it could get. My, oh my. Roberto Romero did not give up on it. And again, when it's the first round and you're not dealing with a bunch of blood and sweat, you gotta capitalize on having someone's back in that moment.
Wow, incredible stuff. Roberto Romero picking up the W for the Mexicans. Take us through it, Alex.
And here he goes to the back, quickly under the chin of Ashida. And I like the grip that he uses there. Not a classic rear naked choke finish, but really beautiful stuff executed by El Charro Negro.
He was hunting for it throughout the entire 5 minutes, just with 10 seconds left, as he was able to capitalize on the rear naked choke. Back in the winning column for the Mexicans and Roberto Romero. We'll be back with the final decision after the break. We are back now for the final result. Mexico's up 1-0 as Roberto Romero picked up the W. Beatriz.
El tiempo oficial, 4 minutos y 45 segundos del round número 1. The official time, 4 minutes and 45 seconds of round number 1. And the winner, by way of submission, el ganador, por sumisión, de sangre mexicana, Roberto Romero.
Roberto Romero picks up the victory, puts Mexico on the scoreboard 1-0 as he picks up the win against Takahiro Ashida. Sign of respect there, Mexico and Japan. Beautiful sportsmanship from both of these men. We'll be back. Boy, oh boy, right now is Mexico 1-up against Japan. Last year, Alex, the Japanese took home the bragging rights, going up 2-1. Right now is it's up to Marcos Lloreda to go for the, or it's not Marcos Lloreda, to get for the clean sweep, although he's representing the USA though, but he's going up against the Japanese. We're going to go now to the highlights of what occurred in this previous bout. Phenomenal stop from Roberto Romero, and what impressive, just on days' notice. And this guy came to play.
Yeah, it has been the story of the rear naked chokes tonight, and well-executed, dominant grappling exchanges from El Charro Negro, and a disappointed Takahiro Ashida. But man, did Roberto Romero look crisp tonight.
He looked clean, and listen, it wasn't just like, I'm gonna step in the airplane and get in here. He had some difficulties. His corner just came in yesterday, so I didn't even think he was gonna get him here on time. He did get Colin Yamada to join him in the corner, but Roberto Romero was training in Chihuahua, made his way here to the United States to get this bout going and puts Mexico on the map. But we're not done. It's Yamada taking on Marcos Lloreda up next to finalize this card. What an action-packed Japan versus Mexico. We will be back with more after the break.
もともと柔道をしていて、大学卒業してから就職したんですけど、ちょっとその普通の仕事ではちょっとつまらない人生になると思ったんで、そこから MMA を始めました。まあ地力が強いんじゃないかなとは思ってます。まあそうですね、一応代表で来てるんで、まあ絶対に負けられないです。グラップラーだと思ってます。いや代表で来てるんで、負けるとやっぱ同じ団体の同じ階級の人たちにもうその合わせろ感がなくなるんで、まあ今晩はしっかり僕のやりたいことをやって、最後はしっかりと決めて相手にタップさせます。
Llegué a Freedom Fighters hace 14 años, pero desde que yo empecé con ellos no sentí necesidad de ir para ningún otro lado. A la manera vieja escuela, si sientes que te estás preparando más fuerte, más cansado y eso, ahí es donde debes estar, ¿no? Otra gente sí dirán que hay presión, pero para mí no. Yo amo lo que hago y cada día en esta carrera es una bendición. Llevo tiempo guerreando para combate, llegando a decisión de peleas fuertes. Yo tengo que finalizar ya. Por cada sumisión, como quiera, él no va a poder llegar a la decisión. Pueden esperar violencia, malicia. Vengo con todo por todo, de nuevo jugando.
Ever since that defeat against Colin Lubert's Marcos Lloreda is a different man, and he's currently riding on a winning streak. He plans on extending it, but he has to go through Shoma Yamada first. We'll be back with the action.
Entrando a la jaula, Shoma Yamada.
All the way from Japan, Shoma Yamada, the second Japanese to enter La Jaula. He plans on getting a victory, and this is not just a victory, Alex. He said earlier on this week in an interview that if he doesn't win, it doesn't feel like he'll go back to his gym. It will be like an insult if he were to come back home with a loss. So he can mark his name out of the gym. This is something, as you know, in Japan, they're very, very strict and disciplined in what they do, and a failure here will not be good for him, so he'll be almost ashamed of going back to his gym and train.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of pressure to put on yourself, but sometimes that's exactly what you need in order to stay focused. Going up against a Combate Global vet in Marcos Lloreda, Shoma Yamada is ready to go to represent his country of Japan and get on the winning side tonight.
Well, he's definitely coming in with a lot of positivity walking into La Jaula. Again, a very special thanks for those watching on Abema TV in Japan as we get ready to introduce his opponent in Marcos Lloreda. Beatriz.
Su oponente, Marcos Lloreda.
We have La Loba in Lucera Acosta, and we have El Lobo in Marcos Lloreda, fighting out of Miami, Florida, but also representing Spain and the United States. Trains out of the Freedom Fighters in Miami, Florida, alongside there his coach Manolo. And Justin Vasquez, who you've seen compete inside La Jaula. Of course, you may remember him because of that flying knee that went viral. But Marcos Lloreda is a changed man after that defeat he had against Colin Lubert. Ever since, he's just been on a winning streak, all of them by way of decision for the most part. But total domination on all those fights, and he feels very confident in himself that he'll pull off a victory here tonight, Alex.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling very confident with this matchup. He has the size advantage, he has the range. Will he be able to get the finish tonight?
He surely is very lanky. That's one thing that Yamada pointed out. He's very tall, has that long reach, the long legs. But what we've seen in previous fights is as it goes into the latter part, that cardio, that stamina. But he says, I've been training very hard. I've been putting in a lot of work to work on that. And it shows that he's currently in a winning streak. We'll be back with a fight. And there we have it. Can Japan make up for that first defeat and make it even Stevens? It all lies on Shoma Yamada, but Marcos Lloreda stands in his way. It could be a victory for the young man as we take a look at the head-to-head. 26-year-old for Yamada, 32 for Lloreda. The height favors Lloreda, of course, and the reach. Good width thing on the weight, 170 to 169, but Beatriz, introduce the Warriors.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. Este es el evento estelar de esta noche. We continue with much more action this bout. This is the main event of the evening. División Peso Welter, welterweight division. Los jueces son the judges are Jonathan Lane, Lorenzo Toledo, Anelian Rodríguez. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Introducing the blue corner, en la esquina azul, wearing white, vestido de blanco. Su peso oficial, 169.6 libras. His official weight, 169.6 pounds. Con un récord profesional de 3 victorias y 2 derrotas. With a pro record, 3 victories and 2 losses. From Aichi, Japan, Shoma Yamada. En la esquina roja, in the red corner, wearing red, vestido de rojo. Su peso oficial, 170.8 libras. His official weight, 170.8 pounds. Con un récord profesional de 14 victorias y solo 8 derrotas. With a pro record, 14 victories and 8 losses. De familia española, repping the 305. Marcos, el conquistador, Lloreda. El referee, Marcos Pérez.
Fighters, okay, so you already know the rules. I want a clean fight, obey my command at all times, touch block into one. Go.
Final rules by Marcos Perez, the third man in La Jaula. Marcos Lloreda, Shoma Yamada. Japan can make it even Stevens here with a victory over Lloreda. A grappler versus the striky, funky flashiness of Lloreda. He tends to bring in that flashiness in the midway through the fight, spinning back kicks, spinning back elbows. Alex, he has a whole arsenal.
Yeah, definitely a difference in fight styles, but a similar reasoning for fighting. They both wanted to avoid having to work behind a desk and work that basic 9 to 5, and now they're in here living their dream jobs. But they just both want that win so badly, and looking to implement their game is Shoma, trying to get some grappling exchanges right off the bat.
Yeah, Yamada out of Aichi, Japan. Lloreda here from Miami, Florida. Not at stake, you know, in between breaks, we were listening to Kendrick's Lamar, Be Humble. And it just rings a bell because Lloreda was talking about that loss against Colin Lubert brought humility, it brought humbleness. It's changed him as a man, as a fighter.
And since that loss, Marcos had a win that was very wrestling-based. He put on a wrestling clinic. So now we're going to see Shoma try to implement his wrestling techniques and working in on this single leg. Will Marcos be able to defend it and stay on the feet?
Yamada coming in with that grappling, wanting to take him down to the ground.
Just look at that height advantage.
It's a big difference. Yamada, though, started off with judo, then transitioned to mixed martial arts right after college. He said, hey, I'm a judoka, but where can I use it stuff? Well, turn it into MMA.
I'm super excited to see some throws from Yamada. But will he be able to do it against the tall, lanky Lloreda, who's beginning to unload quite a bit, really finding a home for that jab?
And blood is squirting already from Yamada's nose. He has Japan supporting him, also the deep promotion where he competes. Earlier on, we had Takahiro Ashida, who's competed for Deep and also Risen.
Great action.
Two popular promotions out in Japan. We had Claire Lopez compete in Risen.
Yeah, we definitely get a lot of representation over there in Japan. And shout out to our Japanese audience right now. Also our Fuse audience tuning in. We've seen some great finishes tonight. Will we get another one in this third bout?
That's right, all the Japanese folks in Abema TV watching right now. We thank you for that. Been catching there on the socials.
We got to hear some of your Japanese.
We just did. Did you not miss it?
You show off and make me, you know, I need to learn some, catch up to you.
I just talked Japanese like a few seconds ago, Alex. Why are you throwing me under the bus here, man?
No, it's music to the ears. The Japanese fans want to continue hearing it, and they want to continue seeing Shoma Yamada let it rain punches.
I'm on the 4th level Rosetta Stone. I still got like 6 more to go. I'm almost there, though. Yamada not backing down here with those shots. Answering back Lloreda, sizing him up. Sweet elbow there from that position, and then the grappling from Yamada. Maybe for a single leg, we would trip up, but no. Good way of Lloreda protecting himself, sneaking in an E.
And Yamada is getting quite bloodied up from the straight jabs and the 1-2s coming from Marcos Lloreda.
Man, it's so difficult when you fight a lanky person, Alex, with that reach and those long legs.
Tongues out.
Oh,
Come on,
Yamada came to fight. Let's go. He's ready for action.
Now this is fun.
Listen, this right now is giving me chills. Reminds me of those good old Pride days.
This is amazing because Shoma didn't show this much personality in the lead up to this fight, and now he's having so much fun in there, kind of taunting Marcos Lloreda, like, come on, give me more. Maybe to open up the opportunity for a takedown if he rushes in too much.
Well, in the weigh-ins, there was a lot of respect. He even gave him, oh, there's the spinning back fist from Lloreda. This is where he gets very creative with the striking. Yamada answering back.
Yamada not having that tongue out anymore, taunting Marcus Lloreda. Beautifully executed spinning back fist shook Yamada, and now they're back at distance.
These are two warriors going toe-to-toe. A lot lies on Yamada right now. Japan doesn't want to go
and
with
the outside trip straight into a front headlock position. Could potentially go arm and guillotine here, but Marcus Lloreda slips out of there, and now with all that blood, things are getting slippery and sweaty in there too.
Yeah, he nearly got him right down to the floor, but good way of Lloreda stepping right back up and taking to the feet. Everything relies now on Yamada, so Japan won't go winless here. With 10 seconds left here in this first round. Exciting stuff, those first 5 minutes. We're in for a treat. Grab your popcorn. In between rounds, Alex, as we get ready for this second round, Marcus Lloreda's corner was telling me, throw in that right, sit on that right. You got him tired. Don't stick your head out like that. He said, Yamada looks tired because all those takedown attempts he's made. But I beg to differ. Yamada's like an Energizer bunny.
And he is really swinging for the fences when he does get inside the pocket.
Lloreda, though, having the upper hand, taking that first round. Oh, great shot to the midsection from Yamada. Corner telling Lloreda to get his head up. And Yamada's coming in with that stiff jab. Doing a little bit of damage here. Good way into feinting too, Alex. To sneak in.
Marcus Lloreda riding a 3-fight win streak heading into this fight. Really looking to pump away at that jab.
Those feints have been doing justice for Yamada, Alex. It's catching Lloreda.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of single leg attempts from Yamada, but I'd be really curious to see him get some type of head and arm throw or some judo in there. I want to see what he's made of when it comes to the judo, but again, it's hard to set up when you're at distance like this.
Yamada feels very confident with his striking, as you can see. He's doing very well with that stiff jab, connecting because Lloreda sticks his head up. He's giving it away, Alex. Nary did attempt for a throw, but good way of Lloreda escaping. Great way of sneaking in, yeah, beautifully executed by Lloreda.
Yeah, and Marcus Lloreda has plenty of training partners that fit the size and build of Yamada over there at Freedom Fighters. So he's been well prepared for this bout. And this bout was one that we've known was happening for a while. Unlike Roberto Romero taking it on short notice, this one they've had time to prepare for one another's game, and now they're looking to execute their game plans.
Yeah, these boys that were prepared, they put in the work. They knew who they were gonna face. Great way it's working so far for Lloreda, sneaking in that hook. He'll come in with a jab and quickly turn it into a hook.
I'm
Kota
honestly
was very well known for that in boxing.
pleasantly surprised that Shoma Yamada has been super satisfied to stay on the feet with these punch stats that we're getting, because he said before, I'm gonna get him and I'm gonna tap him out. But now we're seeing that he's very happy to keep things on the feet.
And notice the difference compared to the first round. Yamada has only made one attempt for the takedown. For the most part, Yamada has been trying to size up Lloreda with the striking, great with the feint, and there's that right hand that's been connecting. Lloreda's been sticking the head out, Alex.
Yeah, Lloreda's been caught on the back foot quite a bit, which has enabled him to get some counter strikes in there. But I think Lloreda is more dominant when he's the one pushing the pace and walking his fighters down. So we'll see if he chooses to implement that for the rest of the second round.
Yeah, see how Yamada comes in with that jab. He'll pretend and feint with the top of the head and go down to the body. It's catching Lloreda.
And Yamada could definitely start to implement more body shots, get Marcus Lloreda to come down a little bit, and maybe add in an uppercut and hook to finish things off. But I think opening up the body a little bit more of Marcus Lloreda will allow some strikes to the head to open up.
Yamada said that he's a grappler, but I beg to differ. In this fight, the majority of it has been striking from this man.
You have to imagine that Yamada is aware the first round went to Lloreda.
Strike fest so far in this second round. Only one attempt that I can remember from Yamada. He's faking, and there he goes. He's trying to find that hole, trying to get Lloreda off his guard to break him down. But good way of Lloreda on stopping the takedown attempt.
And we see Slick J. Vasquez in the corner of Marcus Lloreda giving advice. It's always convenient when you're right close to your corner, able to talk and listen to your corner's advice. They maybe see things that you're not seeing inside La Jaula.
Still can't get the takedown, Alex, for Yamada. So far, what we've been seeing is that Yamada's been connecting into the right opportunity, but he just can't seal the deal and taking him down.
Yeah, and the third round will definitely be a question of who can capitalize in these tired moments, who can really explode and use some strikes and potentially get a takedown for Yamada, because I know that's what he's looking for.
Okay, wow, okay. All right, now Yamada's having a little fun down. Let's see if Lloreda answers back with a spinning back fist.
It's great. Showing a lot of personality in there is
Oh,
Shoma
that right
of
hand.
Yamada.
Just didn't sit on it. And there's a flying knee to the knee.
Oh, and a little bit of a
Lord. Get off the couch and load up with more popcorn, folks. We can still got 5 more minutes of the stuff. Wow, Alex, break it down.
Beautiful stuff from both fighters. We're really starting to see a lot of hooks from Marcus Lloreda land. But Shoma Yamada not shying away from the stand-up game, despite saying that he is a grappler with a judo background and looking to get the submission.
They could tune in here. Right, to stay close, he said. Read that distance. Don't get too far away.
Rodolfo, our trilingual.
Trying, Alex, trying. I'm almost there.
Star.
I gotta renew my subscription.
You kill it. Can I borrow your brain?
Nah, I got my wife to help me with that, so.
And you will be heading to Japan after this event, so
Don't
maybe you
remind
can
me.
hang out with Shoma Yamada.
That's right.
Takahiro, get some training in with them.
Ready? Combate.
Yes, ma'am, in a few hours. All right, here we go. Final round. Lloreda taking on Shoma Yamada. Yamada not backing down. So far, it's been a strike fest, and in the end of that second round, both men got creative.
Now, both these guys just happy to let it fly. Not a whole lot of feints, but I think feinting could do a lot in opening some different strikes.
And rightfully so, Yamada listening to the corner, not letting Lloreda get too far away, keep him up close. The issue that Yamada's having when he throws in there right is that he's losing his balance. He's not sitting down on that right foot, Alex.
Yeah, his punches are getting ahead of his feet. But that jab is starting to land, starting to find its home. If he can stick with it, I think that'll open up some other looks.
And we're waiting for that open score and see how the judges scored the second round. I'm curious to know. And there it is. Speaking of the devil, Lloreda now 2 rounds up. So right now, question mark kick there from Lloreda. Yamada just has only one way of winning, and that's either by TKO or sub or stoppage. It's the only way he's gonna pick up a victory and at least take a victory for the Japanese.
And a win by unanimous decision would be the 3rd in a row for Marcus Lloreda. His 4th win in a row. One of them went by split decision. But I know that El Conquistador is hungry for a finish. He was saying all fight week that he's been preparing, but he is prepared to also go into deep waters, which is what we're seeing here right now.
He is hungry for that victory as we take a look at the stats. Not that far as the punches, 123 for Lloreda. Yamada has with the 116. The kicks are 32 to 20. As you can see, they're just live stats as you see on your screen.
Gotta love AI, giving us some live stats as they go from Combat IQ.
Don't get me started, Alex.
Quick single leg attempt again. That has been the only attempts that we've been seeing from Yamada.
Hasn't had much success here, but maybe because we're this latter part of this fight now. Of course, the energy is a little low here on both ends. They've put in a lot of work. Let's see if Yamada still has a little gas in the tank to take, finally, Lloreda to the ground.
I'd like to see him lose that single leg and go for the double leg instead. Really just 100% dive in on it, even if you risk a guillotine attempt, because that single leg has not been working out.
You tried there with a low calf kick.
And you got to imagine that Marcus Lloreda, aware that he is up 2 rounds, knows that he just has to coast, but a beautiful spinning back fist for El Conquistador.
Listen, he has some really creative stuff. The spinning back kick, the elbow, the question mark kick, and there's that spinning back fist. We were talking. Yamada says nobody home, but he got caught with a spinning back fist. He can't get too cocky.
He has thrown that spinning back fist 3 times and landed cleanly every time.
But the guy's still standing. Just shows you the heart of these samurais. I know he put a lot on himself for Yamada, saying that if he doesn't take that victory, he won't walk into that gym. But I'll tell you this, Alex, he's shown a lot of toughness in this fight.
They are definitely going to be proud of him no matter what, but he has got to really dig deep if he wants to get a finish here.
Alex, in this position, you got about almost close down to the minute mark. As a corner, what would you say to Yamada to pick up that win?
He's got to do something. One, get out of this position as quick as possible and try to get the knockout at this point. Unless it's some type of arm lock or ankle lock, there's no submission that could really be executed so quickly. So he's going to have to scramble out of this position. But Marcos Lloreda, aware that he's up 2 rounds, he'll use that strength to just maintain control for the rest of the round.
Yeah, right here, he just pretty much just put it on cruise control and wait out for those 40 seconds that are coming up. But Yamada not giving up. Good way of escape from that position. Green beams go, Alex.
Crazy war they have going on right now. All the blood on the mats.
You know that these guys are just going to go buck wild in these final seconds.
But a great, great display of skill from both these welterweights. This division is stacked and is improving every day. Marcos Lloreda getting it done in a very, very dominant win.
Yamada still in it. Lloreda going back and forth. Japan seems... Well, a little tauntness there. He seems that Japan will go winless. Again, everything's left to the judges. But out of that display, it seems that Lloreda did conquer his opponent and get another victory. About there, a lot of heart from Yamada. Beatrice will let us know the final decision.
After 3 rounds of much more action, this is the final decision. Después de 3 vueltas de mucha más acción, esta es la decisión oficial. All 3 judges turned in identical scorecards of 30 to 27. Los 3 jueces entregan tarjetas idénticas de 30 a 27. All in favor of the winner. By way of unanimous decision. Todos a favor del ganador. Por decisión unánime. Marcos Lloreda.
Wow, amazing stuff there. I just got the chills there. You can see Yamada's disappointed with the result. Marcos Lloreda, much appreciation, great sportsmanship, even pointed to his left arm tattoo of a samurai saying, you got the samurai spirit, Yamada. Alex.
Yeah, Shoma Yamada has nothing to be disappointed in. He left it all out there, brought the entertainment as well, but Marcos Lloreda was just tough tonight. Everything was landing, every spinning back fist, every right down the pipe. Beautiful performance from our welterweight Combate Global star, getting it done in this Mexico versus Japan showdown in honor of Spain and USA as well. He also gave a shout out to his Miami people representing in his hometown tonight.
And there are the stats, Alex. 154 punches thrown by Lloreda compared to the 142 of Yamada, but it surely was an exciting fight, despite the fact that Lloreda took up that unanimous decision. And shout out to Lloreda doing a little Ivan Hernandez of the Marlins when he said, I love you, Miami. He definitely loves the 305. Marcos Lloreda picks up another victory, continues on with a winning streak. Great stuff. and great matchup we have coming up. Gerardo Quintana out of Mexico taking on Royce Butler out of California, making his return to La Jaula for the second time. It's a clash at 130 pounds. Should be a fast-paced and exciting bout between these two young men. Looking forward to it. Beatrice, introduce the men.
Entrando a la jaula, Gerardo Quintana.
Gerardo Quintana making his first walk towards La Jaula, Alex, and you know, it's most like all the stories of some of these fighters started out with combat sports to learn self-defense. Now he is at one of the top gyms in Mexico at a Bone Breakers, and also training at the 10th Planet Ciudad de Mexico. I'm sure you're very familiar with the 10th Planet, Alex.
Yes, that system is definitely made for MMA. And like you mentioned, it's so interesting to know a lot of these fighters get into the sport because they were bullied as kids, and now they want to learn to defend themselves. But now they're doing much more than that, and they're stepping inside La Jaula, making a career out of MMA.
This by far is the biggest platform that Gerardo Quintana has walked in. A lot of eyeballs will be tuning in, watching his first fight here in La Jaula. But his opponent, no stranger to La Jaula. Beatrice, let's introduce his opponent.
Su oponente, Royce Butler.
Draped with a red, white, and blue, the American flag. Royce Butler once again coming in to La Jaula for the second time. Last time we saw him, Alex, he was pretty much very, very exciting fighter. Has several titles as an amateur. Had a very successful record as well. Started training with his father. So this definitely runs in his blood, and what's phenomenal in California, competing for the amateur promotion Spar Star, which we know very well here in Combate Global, Alex.
Yeah, the MMA culture in Southern California is hard to beat. There's just something about when you train in Southern California, you know that you can also cross-train at various gyms, and you have one of the biggest amateur promotions to get as much experience as you need. So Royce Butler really taking in a lot of experience, and even knows the bright lights that he's experienced at Spar Star as well.
And that plays a major role, especially in La Jaula, and it's being the second time. Those butterflies are out the window already. He's been in here. He knows how hot those lights can get. The cameras, all the eyeballs on you. So the experience is there. Very excited to see these two go toe-to-toe. The age there, 31 for Butler, 25 for Quintana, the younger one. The height, not much of a difference, just slightly different. 68 for Quintana, 69.5 for Butler with the reach, and the weight, 129 to 128. Beatrice, let's go.
Continuamos con mucha más acción este duelo a un peso pactado de 130 libras. We continue with much more action this bout. At a catch weight of 130 pounds, los jueces son, the judges are James Lázaro, Elian Rodríguez, and Jonathan Lane. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Introducing the blue corner, en la esquina azul, wearing black, vestido de negro. Su peso oficial, 128.4 libras. His official weight, 128.4 pounds. Con un récord profesional de una victoria y 2 derrotas. With a pro record of 1 victory and 2 losses. De sangre mexicana, Mexico City, Mexico, Gerardo Quintana. Introducing the red corner en la esquina roja, wearing red, vestido de rojo. Su peso oficial, 129 libras. He tipped the scale at 129 pounds. Esta noche entra a la jaula invicto como profesional con una victoria. Tonight, he enters la jaula undefeated as a pro with one victory. From Antelope Valley, California, Royce Too Smooth Butler. El referee, Marcos Pérez de Panamá.
Okay, come on. Come on, fighters. Come on, fight hard. Okay. You already know the rules. I want a clean fight. Obey my command all time. Touch glove if you want. Go to your corner.
And there you have it. Royce Butler making his return to La Jaula and taking on the newbie, Gerardo Quintana out of Mexico. These boys gonna go toe-to-toe in a match that should be very quick, Alex.
Yeah.
With them hands.
They'll definitely be bringing the speed. But the most recent win from Gerardo was by Kimura. So I'm very interested to see how he works in the strikes into the ground game as well.
Going back to Royce Butler, he made his debut in La Jaula last fall, came out with a unanimous decision victory. But we talked about his success he had as an amateur, only losing one bout, and that was by way of decision. Picked up a couple of TKOs, submissions, and some unanimous decision victories. However, this is a brand new person. Oh, great trip there to kick the low kick, Alex, to get the ball rolling very early on in the bout.
Yeah, and great recovery. Sometimes early on in the fights, those slip moments kind of happen, but great placement from Gerardo. And now utilizing that body lock position and great head position against the cage.
Well, if you would see here, Gerardo Quintana not phased. Oh, great takedown by Gerardo. Not phased by the lights.
This
Seems like he's been here before.
Into the front headlock position. Great work by Royce.
Great stuff by these two young men already. Kind of a funky looking throw there by Royce Butler.
And we saw for a brief second, Gerardo looked for a Kimura type grip. A great way to move your opponent, not just for submission purposes.
Yeah, Butler attempted to put in those hooks in there, but good way of Quintana not allowing him to get both legs in there.
You gotta imagine the adrenaline dump. These guys have been here all week, facing off, knowing that they both want to get another win on their record. And now their time is here, and they're looking to execute their game plan.
Still attempting another takedown from this position, Alex, for Royce Butler. Butler works at the Aerial Space Company. This guy's a decorated man both inside La Jaula and outside. And on his time off, he likes to drift cars and ride bikes. So this guy is definitely all about combat and extreme sports. Calls himself more of a striker, however. He does have some great stuff when it comes to the grappling side.
And I like how he's working in those knees. Even though he's looking for back control, he's still thinking strikes as well. And now we're back at distance.
And you could tell the confidence is for both these guys. They feel very cool, calm, and collective. Put everything aside. This is a bout. And somebody has to take that victory home. Great kick there by Quintana, followed by Butler. Nobody home. Just sizing each other up. It's not like we're in that feel stage, even though it should have been backwards, right? You start off with feeling it out very early on, but we kind of passed through that now. Now we're slowing down the pace in this first round.
Yeah, Royce Butler's nickname is Too Smooth. So I'm excited to see him get that flow within the strikes. A nice question mark kick, really letting the kicks fly now.
Great straight right to the head. Not phased by Quintana, still sizing up Butler, looking up for an opportunity where he can strike. Missed that low kick.
It's super interesting though. Gerardo at first was taking the center of La Jaula, and now we're seeing Royce do a little bit more of that. I think after Gerardo had tasted some of those strikes, he's a little bit hesitant to come forward too much.
Well, Quintana there felt a little bit comfortable trying to do a little Duke.
That straight right is coming down fast.
It's the second, third time he catches onto that.
When you have the orthodox versus southpaw, it always opens up some fun strikes that we could see here.
Yes,
so.
rightfully
he is
so.
really loading up on that right.
Quintana, though, now feeling a little bit more of the groove here. The little rock'em sock'em, little movement there from his hip avoiding those kicks. Didn't check that kick, though, Alex.
Yeah, now we're seeing a little bit of a switch stance from Quintana.
Yeah, he definitely wants to play the striking game. But Butler not playing what he wants to, playing it very smart.
And when 40 seconds left in this fight, Quintana does not want to get taken down, especially after some of those strikes. If he can create some distance here again and end the round so that the judges can see it his way, but so far, it was a pretty dominant round by Royce.
Maybe he could finish off the single leg, although La Hala is right in there. Maybe use that right leg to trip him. But there's maybe a guillotine. Can't see from this position here. Alex got away from it. Follow through more shots. Quintana almost finished off the bout here with 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds left to go. Quintana getting the upper hand, trying to get Mount Baby, and then that's the end of the round. And Eduardo Quintana definitely, Alex, showing that he belongs here, not showing any nerves whatsoever. Following back, it was that low kick that brought down Butler. But Butler seemed to have been taking this first round for himself.
And we've seen a little bit of everything from both these guys. We saw some takedown attempts. We saw beautiful rights come in from Royce. And a beautiful takedown that ended up getting reversed by Quintana.
Tanto, toma agua, ya con eso. Circula para la derecha, tú también que úsalo cuando él venga.
Alex, it caught to my attention that right eye of Quintana, a little red underneath, but even in the eyeball. I don't know if you caught that there.
Yeah, I definitely saw the cut, but I didn't see the redness in his eyeball. I mean, those rights were definitely coming right at his cheek and eye area, so.
And then right underneath the left, you can see right by the cheekbone, he's a little messed up already. And I'm sure Butler will take advantage of that, keep striking with that right hand, which has been pretty effective.
Ooh, Marcos Perez almost taken out there.
Oh, the backpedaling. You know, that's...
Honestly, it's my worst nightmare to be trapped in a cage with people I'm not even fighting. So you got to stay on your toes in there.
Kudos to Marcos Perez there to compose himself, not falling back. Good balance there.
And here we have a body lock position and also some knees coming from Quintana and the open scoring.
Rightfully so, Alex, as we called it. Butler with the advantage in this first bout. First round. Now we're heading to the second chapter. Royce Butler with those knees. He attempted to get a knee right in the clinch position to target. However, Quintana read it very well.
I love the way that Royce is mixing things up. He's either throwing a knee or he's going for a takedown, and it's back and forth, back and forth. So it's always keeping Quintana on his toes. Even though Quintana's the one initiating and trying to get a takedown, he's having to deal with the offense of Royce.
And when they get into center is when Butler tries to attempt that right hand, which I'm sure it's coming here any second now. Which seems to be that deadly weapon for him in this case. Stiff jab coming in there. Oh, another kick there blocked though by Quintana. Good way of keeping those hands up.
And these gentlemen have competed at bantamweight, at flyweight, and now they're competing at a catch weight of 130. So it's very interesting to know how these weight cuts for them, or if this is the ideal weight that they want to fight at. And we'll see if their cardio shows out at this weight class.
Right now we're nearly near the halfway of the second round, and that will get very interesting when it comes to the cardio, because we started off fast-paced, right? We started off with a lot of action, and you can see in this second round it's kind of just brought down a bit.
Now we're seeing a continuation
that's
of
that
that
stiff right.
straight right.
It's there
But
all
also
day.
Leg kicks from Quintana.
Great way of Quintana there, positioning himself towards the hala, but he needs to be careful because Butler is very good with those knees in the clinch position, Alex. Oh, putting the elbow right underneath her chin. That could be very annoying.
At this point in the fight, Royce is getting the better half of the striking, I'd say. So would you say for Quintana that he should really try to work in that takedown and try to get to the ground?
And he has to push the pace. I feel himself, he's a bit too calm. Not like how he was in the beginning of that first round when he was feeling out his striking. You know, that start off feeling, that feel-good moment of the beginning of the bout, we've passed that stage already. Now he has to put his foot in the accelerator and go. And look, there's that right eye. It's a little busted open. I'm not sure if it's coming underneath the eye.
Wow. Nice kick from Royce. Both sides of Quintana's face now is bloodied, like you said.
Yeah, Butler was just keeping an eye, just targeting straight again. And there it's all day. Combination with a high kick as well, but good way of Quintana keeping those hands up. And out for the takedown.
Takedown.
Beautifully executed by Royce Butler. Great stuff so far from Butler. Now,
see here if Royce can pass the guard of Quintana.
he's attempting to, but that right leg of Quintana in the way.
But this half guard position is super advantageous in MMA. A great place to lay down some ground and pound, and especially when you have your opponent against La Jaula like this, it's great to control, but now we're seeing Royce work to the back of Quintana.
Quintana seems in deep trouble here. He's trying to get those hooks, Butler. He only tends to just get one, but I think this is his chance that he may get, oh, he lost the opportunity there. Again, another funky looking type of throwdown. Butler with the knees.
And now we're starting to see too smooth come into play for Royce.
I think Butler definitely smells the blood. He tastes it, and he really feels that that W is just around the corner. As we are about to enter the third and final chapter of this bout between these two men.
kicks, okay? Okay.
Just keep him standing. Try to keep him in the center. So be careful coming in.
When you do a jab, you do a cross, he looks away. When you do a kick to the head, he looks away.
Plus,
when you do a jab, when you hit him, when you throw anything, he looks away. Okay? He's not looking where you're throwing, so hit him in the body, hit him in the head.
On top of that,
do not rush him, okay? Do not rush him and
don't put yourself against the fence, yeah.
Yeah, don't force a clinch from him.
Stay off the fence. You stay in the center. So make sure you're backing up, circling.
When you throw anything you throw, he turns around, he doesn't want to see it, okay?
Hide behind your jab, okay? Hide behind your jab. Hide behind your jab.
Gerardo Quintana getting those last words from his corner.
Doctor.
And they're asking the doctor, Marcos Perez, referee, asking to check those cuts. He has about 2 right under the right eye and the left cheekbone. Oh, and right above, actually, the left eye. Ooh, it seems pretty deep, Alex.
Yeah. They're checking it out, making sure everything's good. But damage-wise and volume-wise, the fight is definitely going to Royce right now.
Yeah, and Royce is just going to capitalize on that cut. And it can't get to the point where doctors may have to step in again. You know, great way of the cut man to tighten up that cut, but it can only go so far, Alex.
And I thought it was great advice from Royce's corner. Stay off the cage and hide behind that jab. He's seen success with the straight right and jab, and now you have a cut up Gerardo Quintana.
And the low kicks.
And the low kicks.
Gerardo Quintana trying to keep Butler at bay because he knows that right and left are coming right at him. And you can see the backpedaling from Quintana.
And we've seen Quintana stand in that southpaw position, but then we've also seen him switch stances. So he's not liking the way those body kicks feel coming from Royce's power shot side.
And there is the open scoring so far. Butler has this bout 2 rounds to none ahead of the game. Again, Combate Global, we are all about open scoring. No need to wait for the final round.
Ooh, he walked into that knee, it looked like.
There's a lot of blood dripping in La Jaula.
The craziest of comebacks would be when you're down 2 rounds and you get a submission, though. So what if that happened to start off our night by Quintana?
Anything can happen inside La Jaula, Alex. We've seen it here. One fighter is on top, and all of a sudden he pulls off that victory when you least expect it. It's a beautiful thing about Combate Global.
Mucha más acción. Even when they're on the ground, they're always looking to advance, or else Marcos Perez will say, hey, we're going to stand you up again. And that's why we see these fun scrambles for the takedowns.
And watch out for that knee. You knew that was coming. Quintana just drenched in blood.
Ooh.
But he's not quitting. There's a lot of heart in that man. Trying to find for the Hail Mary to pick up a win somehow, some way. He knows he's down the cards.
6 out of 7 of Royce's amateur wins were by decision. He had 1 KO. I know he's hungry to get another victory by finish here. So he can smell blood in the water, and he's looking to capitalize on the moments of weakness from Quintana.
He's been fighting to get both hooks in. He's only managed to get 1, and he's persistent on it. He wants to get this guy down. Finish it out by way of submission. Oh, did he get lucky with that near miss of an elbow? That could have told a very different story for Quintana if he would have got hit with that. Oh, great way of keeping up those hands.
And these strikes are coming from the same place every time, but Quintana hasn't been able to figure out that distance management. He's just been getting hit every time.
Butler just knows how to read him really well. You could see the frustration from Quintana. He's just chasing him around, but Butler does a wonderful job fighting away and not getting caught. And great judo throw there.
Beautiful. Wow.
Beautifully executed. And maybe, Alex, maybe this may come to an end. There's a lot of blood. There is a lot of sweat, so it's a lot of slippery, but he may get, oh, now he gets it back. Now he got both legs in. The hooks are in, Alex.
This is a beautiful performance by Royce. But like you said, it is slippery with the blood and sweat at this point. But man, is he wearing down Quintana. A finish is very, very likely here. But with only a minute left, can he get it done?
He's waiting for that chance to find that opening to sink in the rear naked. Quintana, though, just fighting for dear life to hanging in for that last minute in this round. Now he's going to get the mount. No, rightfully so. Moved very well, Alex.
Talk about the toughness of Mexican fighters.
Dude, if you watch Combate Global, it's all heart. And now you have something here very sized up, has something very tight, but again, that blood came into play, all that sweat.
And at this point, it is just survival mode for Quintana.
37, well, less than down, but 30 seconds mark for Quintana, just hanging in there, but it surely seems like a clear victory for Butler.
He's gonna look to get under the chin here after a few more hits, but he might be satisfied with a unanimous decision victory, or will we see him go for the submission?
Oh man, and just leaking.
Could
and
we
he
get
may
a
pull it off.
submission?
Perhaps not. No, not yet. Still, it's the too much blood. Can't sink it in. Can't get a good grip, and that's a wrap. Wow, incredible stuff there by Butler. Trying to put a bow there to wrap up this bout. However, Royce Butler, impressed by his opponent, definitely has a lot of guts.
Literal bloodbath.
A lot of heart, Alex. Incredible. We'll be ready for the result after the break. And now we go to Beatrice with the result.
After 3 rounds of much more action, this is the final decision. Después de 3 vueltas de mucha más acción, esta es la decisión oficial. Los 3 jueces entregan tarjetas idénticas de 30 a 27. All 3 judges turn in identical scorecards of 30 to 27. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Todos a favor del ganador por decisión unánime. Royce Butler!
Royce Butler makes it 2 in a row. Alex undefeated in La Jaula. Boy, did he look too smooth in there.
Yeah, that is just a classic win by Royce Butler. Everywhere it went, on the feet with those straight rights, the knees, mixing in the wrestling as well. And then as soon as it went to the ground, he was always looking for that back. And Quintana gave it all he got. That Mexican toughness was definitely showcased, but it was not enough. And Royce Butler improves his record to 2-0. Oh, I love that judo throw. That
Very
was beautiful.
beautifully executed. Listen, there's a lot of guts, there's a lot of heart. However, that's gonna get you a lot of props and kudos, but at the end, what matters is that W. But my hat off to Gerardo Quintana. Definitely came out for a fight. And boys Butler, man, just looking really good inside La Jaula. Well, Alex, seems that Mexico gonna take out the bragging rights. Japan came out short, didn't get a victory here tonight for the last time. It's 1-1. Last year, Japan took home the victories. Tonight, it belongs to Mexico.
With some crazy finishes that we saw.
Man,
wow.
what a great fight between
Chef's
those two.
kiss.
But listen, it's not the only action that we had. Earlier today, we had a phenomenal bout between Juan Puerta taking on Ismael Kraken Zamora out of Mexico. And we're gonna call it right now. Great matchup between these two going at it, toe to toe, inside La Jaula. And there you have the head-to-head Zamora out of Mexico, training with the Bone Breakers camp in Mexico. And Juan Puerta out of American top team, born in Georgia, has also trained here in Florida as well. Hasn't seen action about a year and change. Zamora hasn't competed since late last year. So both these guys haven't seen action in some time, but we're ready.
En la división peso gallo, we continue with much more action this bout. In the bantamweight division, los jueces son the judges are Lorenzo Toledo, James Lázaro, and Elian Rodríguez. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. En la esquina azul, in the blue corner, wearing red, vestido de rojo. Su peso oficial, 135.8 libras. His official weight, 135.8 pounds. Con un récord profesional de 24 victorias y 8 derrotas. With a pro record of 24 victories and 8 losses. From Melbourne, Georgia, descendencia colombiana, fighting out of the 305. Juan Ledfeather Puerta. En la esquina roja, in the red corner, wearing black, vestido de negro. Su peso oficial, 135.8 libras. His official weight, 135.8 pounds. Con un récord profesional de 8 victorias y 2 derrotas. With a pro record, 8 victories and 2 losses. De Mexico City, Mexico, Ismael Kraken Zamora. El referee, Christopher Miñoki.
Ok, cuídate todo el tiempo, escúchame todo el tiempo. Si quieres tocar guantes, toca ahora. Buena suerte a los dos.
There you have it, Chris Mignochi, the third man in La Jaula. Zamora out of Mexico. Juan Puerta representing the United States and Colombia. Both men haven't seen some action in quite some time. Zamora, late last year. And Juan Puerta, mid next year, he competed a victory.
¿Listos? ¿Listos? Dale!
Zamora stepping into one of his most toughest competition, as Juan Puerta has had several experience here, several fights. A man who's competed in the Contender Series, has won a championship here in Florida, and has gone toe-to-toe with some of the best opponents out there in the world of mixed martial arts, Alex. But the question is there a little bit of ring rust between either of these men?
And now Puerta in on a single leg. This bout could be a story of the new guard taking over the old guard, or the vet, as you will.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you for being kind for us veterans
still,
out there.
With a lot of experience under his belt and the new star of Combate Global, he is being the aggressor and really looking to get those hooks in, because we know that Puerta's favorite submissions comes from the back. So whenever he gets to these positions, he really looks to capitalize.
Yeah, Juan Puerta taking on the fight on days' notice. He has been wanting to compete, however, hasn't found an opponent. Got the phone call a few days ago. He was ready to go, just waiting for someone to give him a buzz and step into La Jaula. He's excited, had that conversation with him. He's like, dude, I've just been waiting, but no one has wanted to fight me. And when they gave me a call, I'm in.
Yeah, and very understandable that no one wants to fight him. After a long win streak that he had going on, he tasted defeat twice, and now his most recent fight came by a decision, by split decision. So he's looking to get a finish tonight. in the Combate Global Jaula against Kraken Zamora, though, is a tough, tough feat.
Juan Puerta, as the fight gets into the latter part of it, the experience is going to come in handy.
And we've seen in Ismael Zamora's corner, David Martinez, who was a great training partner for him over there at Bone Breakers MMA in the city of Mexico.
Yeah, former champ.
Watch the groin.
Ismael Kraken Zamora, a stud. This guy took on almost 5 fights about 2 years ago in 2022. 5 fights. Can you believe that? Some fighters is typically 2 times, maybe 3. This guy's fighting 5 times in a year.
Yeah, being able to stay active, if you're healthy, that's big for these fighters because half of it is the nerves going into these fights.
Well,
but
being in
the
your
more
20s,
time under the limelight, you know?
Being in your 20s also helps out, Alex.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a young man's sport.
Okay, más acción, cambiar posición.
Chris McNochie giving the 4-on-1 there to step up the pace in this fight. Wants to see more action.
In great head positioning by the Kraken, really forcing his opponent against La Jaula. But we'll see if he'll be able to capitalize and look with those short slicing elbows. Again, Puerta has been hunted for some front headlock position, but Ismael's wary to it.
Watch action here in the clinch. Zamora searching for a little something out there. Juan Puerta, again, victory last year, 2023. Trying to get back at the columns. Zamora sneaking in a shot.
Yes, it's always those shots off the break that really do a lot of damage for Ismael. And that's what he's looking for when he pins him against the cage. Sometimes he's not even looking for a takedown or for those grappling exchanges. He's just looking to capitalize off the breaks.
Zamora stepping in there. It would be a great victory for him to get one over this veteran of Juan Puerta, who's no stranger to La Jaula, has competed previously here. Oh, sneaked in another shot.
Juan Puerta taking this fight on 5 days' notice. So you get in there and you're just ready to flow and figure things out as you go because there's not much prepping that you can do in terms of tape study or studying your opponent.
Yeah, he is the definition of a fighter. Anytime, any place. That's Juan Puerta, and many of our fighters here in Combate Global, to be honest. How many of these dudes and women say, hey, I'm in?
Yeah, people are down to fight inside La Jaula whenever they can. They jump on the opportunities, especially like you mentioned, Juan was waiting a long time for a fight. This is the first time he's fighting this year. And you mentioned the ring rust. How is he feeling in there?
Stop.
With a groin shot to Ismael.
You right here?
Shot to the groin.
It happens.
Yes, Alex, and trust me, it's really bad. Really horrible situation to be in, Alex.
Knee to the groin here.
He's got time. I know that.
Kind of grazed him, though, Alex.
That'll do it.
Listo? Listo? Dale.
It's a very tender area, Alex, to say the least.
I can only imagine. But a great jumping kick. Some of the finishes that we've seen from Juan Puerta in the past have been from flying knees, very unorthodox and flashy styles of striking. So we'll see if he'll be able to unleash some of that on the Kraken.
Oh,
he's beginning to lay out inside the pocket. Fighting in a phone booth is where we're going to see the most action from these two.
Straight jab there, or straight right hand from Zamora to finish off the first round. Great stuff so far.
Last seconds we got there.
Man, if that's the ending of that first round, what's going to happen in the second or third if we even go the distance? As we go and listen into the corner of Juan Puerta. Now, of course, he's had some reputable names here on his corner, Alex.
Yeah, in the corner of Juan Puerta is Adrian Morais, 3-time one championship champion.
His power side.
So if you're able to
outside his lead foot, we'll give you the opportunity. You can start with your power side. All right.
Listening in on the corner here.
Don't circle for his kick, okay? 1, 2. 1, 2. Chute na cabeça, okay? No, it's okay? You good?
And you heard there some of the advice from Adriana Morais.
Yeah, 1, 2, and stick to the head. Morais to Juan Puerta.
Okay, mírame.
Final word before we get ready for the second round of this bout. Japan versus Mexico has been a great event so far here on Fuse. and Abema TV
Dale.
in Japan. And there's the second round. Juan Puerta in red, Zamora in black.
Juan Puerta looking very, very focused, and both of them exchanging some low kicks to get things started here. And it's always fun when we get a southpaw versus orthodox setup because that opens up a lot for both fighters. But who will be able to execute from the striking side? Because we haven't seen much ground game yet.
Not much here whatsoever. But Juan Puerta sizing up Zamora. This is when the experience kicks in, Alex.
And straight to the back is Juan Puerta.
This could be dangerous waters for the Kraken. Got a standing body lock, Alex.
He was so immediate and instinctual with that, knowing that he needs to capitalize. We're in the second round here, so things are a little sweaty. Will he be able to get his positioning, or will he just choose to lay some hits from the back here against the Kraken?
Juan Puerta could break down Zamora to take him to the floor. And it's not a position that the Kraken wants to be in. Zamora or Puerta searching for a rear naked. Look at that right hand, just trying to see for the right opportunity, breaking down his opponent. He is in dangerous waters, Alex.
He is under the chin. This could be it for the Kraken. He is grimacing and he doesn't want to tap.
Zamora
Will he fight
hanging
the hands?
on.
He's got to fight the hands here. It could be
It could be over. It's tap. Zamora loses to Juan Puerta.
Taking this on a 5 days notice. The Colombiano proud of himself in a quick second round submission. After a back and forth first round battle, the crowd is going absolutely insane here in Miami. What a way to go out.
The chills. Juan Puerta hasn't competed in about a year and change. Comes into La Jaula, takes the fight on days notice, picks up the submission victory in the second round. It's like he never missed a beat. Congratulations to Juan Puerta,
who improves his record to 25-8. Brought that experience in and really capitalized on the moments.
El tiempo oficial, 1 minuto y 31 segundos del round número 2, the official time. 1 minute and 31 seconds of round number 2. And the winner, by way of submission, el ganador por sumisión, Juan Puerta!
Juan Puerta with the victory, improves to 25-8. He is feeling the energy. He's back at it again.
And he went around La Jaula saying 5 days notice he took on this fight, and he gets a beautiful rear naked choke win against a top athlete in Ismael Zamora.
A lot of fighters tell you, oh yeah, I'm always ready, I'm always competing, I'm ready for... This guy wasn't lying. He was ready for action. He was just ready for the phone call, Alex.
He was ready, and again, going to the back, we knew that the rear naked choke was his bread and butter, and every time he got the opportunity to get to the back, he would be very calculated in the way he looked to execute. In straight down, Ismael did not want to tap, but he was deep under the chin and had no choice but to tap to the Colombian.
And it's such a horrible position when they just flatten you out with that rear naked choke. It's just a gruesome position to be in. Kraken, nothing but just to tap and get this out. A great camera angle from that position. Juan Puerta feeling very confident. Back in the... Another win for him as we take a look at the stats. Juan Puerta, 8-12 of his punches compared to 8-18 of Zamora. 4-6 of the kicks compared to the 18-18 of kicks of Zamora, but the effectiveness 66-72. Great stuff from Juan Puerta. Gets another victory, 2 wins in a row. Colombia is very proud of this man. What incredible stuff. Hasn't fought in about a year and change. Comes in, takes the fight on days notice, pulls out the victory, rear naked choke. He has to feel real good about himself. And Zamora, he's a game fighter, a guy that takes fights just days in a notice, fought 5 times in 1 year. Incredible stuff. But Alex, it has been an awesome fight card. Combate Global, Japan versus Mexico. We will catch you next time from La Jaula. We promise you mucho más acción. Cheers, everyone. arigatou gozaimasu.